There we go.
Hey, Marty.
I think we're going. There we go. Hey, 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 hey. Welcome back, folks, to Unpassive. Oh, bless. This is the 1,955,000. I don't know. We're up there for Oh, bless. We've been doing these things nonstop. It feels like a million. I want to do 100 million more. I want to welcome you all to the Oh, bless show. It's always wonderful to see the same faces and some new faces. Tonight we have, you notice I'm trying to touch different countries, different part of the world. And I'm not even sure tonight. I know Grace is from, she lives in Germany, but I think she is from Ghana. She's gonna have to explain that better. And wherever she is from, whatever she's talking about with her group of people, individuals, stay back, get your popcorn going, enjoy the show. I think they're gonna all teach you something on what they want to do. So Grace, on that note, the show is all yours, young lady.
Thank you so much, Brother Chris. And thank you everyone for joining. Again, my name is Grace Christiansen. I am from Ghana, but I live in Germany here in Frankfurt. And I'm here with my team today to present what we have for the Ghanaian community in abroad and also back home. Because we came to Unpassive and we saw the opportunity, and it's really amazing and it's helpful. I know we can help a lot of people. So me and my team, we planned to do something for mankind, to also help mankind. So that is why we are here today. My voice is not so good today. I'm sorry, I'm not feeling well. But I'll first introduce Anita to bring what we have, because we are a team. So we did all together. So I have about 5 people. Don't get bored. It's going to be really amazing. Thank you so much for having me today. Anita, please go ahead. Anita, unmute yourself, please.
Okay, there was a little bit of a delay. I'm not too sure if it was just on my end, but I believe you did say my name, Anita. My name is Anita Aboa J. Just to clarify, the last name is Aboa J. I reside in Canada. I am part of the Team Ghana, Yes Go Unpassive. And today I am here to bring you a presentation about the things that we would like to do for Ghanaians abroad, as well as Ghanaians back home. So the first thing that I would like to talk about today is affordable housing in Ghana. And it's an urgent concern despite the growing in the economy. Income failure, such as people not being able to have wide range of jobs available to them. So we decided to include affordable housing on our list of things that we would like to include on our OBLESS. There is a huge housing shortage, a lot of homelessness, especially with people migrating from the rural part of Ghana into the main cities. So it is very crowded in our main city, which is Accra, Ghana. So this is why we want to attempt attacking this crisis and create a housing program that will be long-term and help especially working women as well as men in various households and better living acceptable conditions. So right from affordable housing, I will move on to technology. And I want to talk about what Unpassive is doing when it comes to artificial intelligence, as well as how Ghana has developed in terms of technology. Technology has produced an increasing I'll say, increase in income and wages in the past 10 years in Ghana. And we see that it is growing rapidly, and development is also improving in those areas. Aside from that, the internet has created a very wide availability to people creating outside incomes for themselves, especially with YouTube and Facebook now available. So basically what I'm trying to say in a short form is it will be a big boom for Unpassive to be able to tap into the technology development in Ghana, because it is going to be the next big boom. So why not make ourselves one of the household names when it comes to technology in that part of Ghana? That is technology. The third thing that I would like to talk about today is financial education. So a lot of us know, even here in the West, financial education is not something that we are really familiar with. You hardly get to learn about finances, even with master's degrees and tons of university or whatever. You just never get to learn about your financial education. So we would like to tap into that and help teaching ways to manage our finances, sharing available resources to our peers and citizens, improving in the part of employment when it comes to financial aids and resources, and also help them write resumes to connect with various internships and different experiences in the workplace. Aside from that, we will also like to do small business startups. That is all part of the financial market, and help small businesses attain a business startup for themselves. And we believe that this will make life more manageable and more easier for various groups of people. I'm going to add rural Ghanaians face a lot of challenges when it comes to accessing quality education. It is also another thing on our list due to so many families focusing on the things that we have on the land, like the materials that are available, especially when it comes to like fishing and farming. Majority of families tend to focus on making sure that their children are part of their businesses. So it just makes it very hard for kids to go to school, especially in rural Ghana. And with this, it's because of incomes that are not available for these families. So what they would do is they rather send their children to work so they can make money to support the families. So due to that factor, we also want to implement education and building school infrastructures for young children that are not able to receive the best education that they need to advance in life and just to be better citizens in their community. So we want to help in supporting education initiatives, as well as infrastructure that will include renovating various schools that are already been built, or helping classrooms and supporting teachers with basic foundations that will help them to be more knowledgeable to help these children and their futures. Aside from that, we want to give every child an opportunity to be able to just have that opportunity to say, you know what, at least I got a chance to be educated, and now it's up to me to take that to, you know, greater means or greater ends. So we believe that it's very, very important, especially education. And this is something that Oh Bless Ghana will be able to help focus primarily in that area when it comes to schools for kids. So I'm going to pass the microphone over to the next person in line. I hope my presentation was clear. If you do have any questions for me, I will be more than happy to answer them after the presentation. Thank you.
Wonderful, Anita. Go ahead. It's your show, Grace. You run it.
All right. Well, Mina, please, can you unmute yourself? Thank you. My voice.
Hi everyone. This is Wilhelmina. Hello.
Hi, we can hear you.
We can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, good evening, everyone. This is Wilhelmine. I'm from the US, and I am presenting myself to Oblast because, as my sister already said, I am in with this Oblast and on passive to present to you guys, everybody here, about drainage system. The drainage system in Ghana is very, very poor. It happens, it goes up and it comes back. In a way that when it's rain, we all know when it rains everywhere, sometimes it flooded. But our drainage system is not that good. So we will help out by giving us a good drainage system so that at least when it rains, it will not flood too much to people's homes. People die from it and bring diseases also. At the same time, we are presenting ourselves to help Ghana bring a good. Can you guys hear me? I think I don't know. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Agriculture and farming project. Agriculture, when it comes in terms of agriculture, we have a good soil, but planting and food agriculture problem is a little problem to Ghana because we don't have a good place to store the food. So we lose a lot of fresh food, go waste. So we are planning, if we all bless, help us go throughout. We are planning to help store good food for good people, especially with the health system for the schools and everybody to get good food to eat. Especially when it comes to good food, when you do good food and you plant good food, the soil and everything is rich in Ghana to produce good food. That the place that we have to store it is a problem. So we want to tackle on that too. And at the same time, we are really thinking about another big project that we want to do when it comes to Ghana, bringing people together with the innovative ideas. People have a lot of ideas in Ghana, but bringing them together so that they can bring it out is a problem because of a poverty rate that we have. So when Oblast and Unpassive that we are in to join together, we know with that we can bring people together with innovative ideas. And it's not like it's going to be only in Ghana, it's going to bless the whole world too. Because if your people have a good ideas and education wise also comes in when you have a good ideas, you can bring it out and share it. You cannot keep it to yourself because Oblast is not keeping it to everybody to himself. That's why Unpassive is here. So we are going to bless everybody with a good ideas also, who have a good ideas to bring it on board and we bring it out. And our next one is to, okay, I already see where to start with, yes, to improve our projects going on in Ghana. A lot of project goes on in Ghana that is not really improvement. So with Unpassive and Oblast, I know we're gonna bring it out for people to help people also to improve the ideas and the project that they have. This is what I have to offer. Any question if you ask, and I'll answer you later. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Balmina. Please, the next on board, it's Frank Amposa. Please, you can go now, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Grace, and thank you, everyone. It's wonderful being part of this community, especially the faces. I see everybody smiling. Who wouldn't want to be part of this community? This is more than a business. It's a family, the connection that we have. Well, back to Ghana. My name is Frank Ambonsa. I'm a Ghanaian, but I live in New York City, in the United States. My colleagues have already begun talking about the things that we want to do for our community in Ghana back home. One of the main things, it's our communities, especially in the rural areas, lack health facilities. Most of these facilities we have are in the cities. They are very far away from the villages and the communities where the local people live. So one of the projects that we've taken on board is to build mobile health clinics in these communities. Just imagine a pregnant woman in labor having to walk or travel about 10 miles to the city, to the closest district for medical attention on an unmotorable road. Or just imagine a farmer being bitten by a snake or having an accident and has to be put on a motorbike, travel for about 10 miles to the nearest district for medical care. These are some of the things that we have back home in Ghana. And this is what we want to address, because OnPassive, through Obless, has given us the opportunity. One major thing, apart from the health and mobile clinics, is we also want to, in this modern age of computer age, most of our people, our youth, Ghanaians, lack computer knowledge. Some people have not even seen a computer before. What they've seen is virtual, they've seen it online. Although they are computer students, they are learning computer, but they have not seen the computer itself. So we want to make sure that every child going to school have access to a computer. So right from the beginning, they'll have the computer knowledge, to be able to do their research, to be able to get in touch. The world now is a global village through AI. So we think when we're able to empower our youth to become computer, savvy, we'll be able to develop our country or take it to a higher level. One other project that we want to talk about, or we've taken on board, has to do with the agricultural farm projects. In Ghana, what we have the soil, like my sister said, we have the land and we have the labor. What we lack is the technical know-how, the machinery and equipment. So this is what we want to help our people with. Our forefathers have been farming for ages, and they've been involved in peasant method of farming, using these small cutlass equipment. So even though there are many people, we have the land, we have the resources, the manpower, because we don't do mechanized farming, if I may say, we don't have the technical know-how and use the equipment to do large-scale farming. We have the land, but yet we are hungry. If we have the technical know-how and the manpower, we'll be able to do a large-scale farming to feed our people. We wouldn't have to go somewhere for food because we are sitting on a good soil. So these are some of the things we want to do. Another project is to provide storage facilities and then also processing facilities to add value to our products. Most of the farmers, even when they're able to farm and produce, they get to a stage, their product gets rotten because they cannot consume all and they cannot sell everything. So what happened is that, what do they do with the rest? They don't have any facility to process it. They don't have any storage facility. It's not easy to build a silo. It's very difficult when it comes to those things. So these are the things we want to help our people to be able to have all this, so that when we have the produce in abundance and we're able to sort them at a later time, when there's shortage, we'll be able to lean on the buffer. And then also, if you're able to process it, we'll add value to it, and that's going to last for a longer period, and our people will be more sufficient. I believe this is what I want to talk about. I'll leave the rest for my colleagues to take it over. So Mama Grace, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brother Frank. Thank you. Please, the next online is Mr. Edward. Please, Edward, can you please unmute yourself? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mama Grace. And my name is Edward Ampadu from Ghana, and I live in Germany. And what I would like to present today is borehole drinking water. Yeah, in Ghana, it's not common to have a tap water in every household, but we can have more boreholes, drain more boreholes. We can help the people there to have a good drinking water, because if the people have good drinking water, it saves life and it saves money. Why I'm saying that it's life, because when I was young, at the age of 18, I was back then in Ghana, a good friend of mine died, and it was through, he got a typhoid fever, and it was through bad drinking water. So when this guy, this friend of mine, had a good drinking water, he wouldn't have passed away. But due to that, he's no more with us to even enjoy party and the blessings that you're going to receive. And can also save money, because when you don't drink good water, you get sick, and the little money that the people have, we have to use that money to buy medicine. So we would like to help the people if even started. And I remember the first time I helped my mom, and also the second time with my mother-in-law, the areas where they were living, for them to have a borehole, to have a drinking water, those areas, those people around that area, they were so happy to have the water in there to drink. I personally grew up in the village, and to have the water to drink, we have to wake up early in the morning to walk, let's say, sometimes during the dry season, you have to walk 2 miles or even more to fetch water for the family. Why? Because we don't have the access to good drinking water. We have to walk to the riverside, and during the dry season, those rivers get dried, and it becomes a problem. So providing good drinking water by drilling more boreholes is what we wanted to do, and we started. And it also saves money, as I said, because you will not use the money to go to the hospital. And also, one thing that we also want to say about borehole drinking water, in Ghana, everywhere that you drill, you have the water. There are some areas you just have to drill 20 meters, even less, the water will start coming. So all what we need is to drill, and in some areas where there is no electricity, we can use the manual pump on the boreholes so that we can have water to drink. Where we can use pumps so that they can pump the water and have good drinking water. And also, secondly, what I would like to talk about is electricity or solar or any technology that will be helpful and less costly for the people back home. Because, as I said, when I was young, I grew up in the village, and when you come from school in the evening, you want to do your homework, but there is no light at home. And the little money that your parents have, you buy kerosene to light the lamp. but your mom or your dad will tell you, please put it off because we are going to use this kerosene for the next 2, 3, 4 days. And you want to stay with it to do your homework. You cannot learn. So you have to put off the light, the lamp that you have. So electricity, solar, or any technology, and I know with on-passive, there's something better coming out. There will be a way, and I know I'm 100% sure with on-passive, we can have a way to help the people to have electricity with less cost. And if those in the rural areas have electricity, it can also save life and save money. So these two things, it's on our heart, it's on my heart, and we want to help because I didn't have it when I was young. And when I grew up, when I left the village, I see how good it is to have a good drinking water and how good it is to have electricity to do your daily things. So here is what I want to present. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me and I will be so happy to answer you. Thank you. Mama Grace, please take it from there.
Thank you so much, brother. Thank you for your voice. The last but not the least, I have here our sister, is it Wamina? No, I don't. Just a minute, please. Yeah. Please, can you raise up your hand and come on, please?
Is it Georgina?
And it's supposed to be Laurentia.
Laurentia.
Hello. Good evening, depending on American time, wherever you are, good day, and God bless you. Thank you for having me on the program. My name is Lauren Shetukwe, and I reside in New York City, US to be specific. And my topic is on prison and then the roads of Ghana. The role of road transport in economic development affects a lot of things in Ghana. Like there are places in Ghana where there are no roads. The roads have, those that have roads too, the roads are very bad and it's so hard for everybody to be able to move from one place to another. I remember when I was pregnant with my first child, I was going to the hospital and the car had to break down on the road. It was so difficult for me. So from that time, I started developing interest in the roads in Ghana, thinking of how I would be able to help. So when I heard about on-passive, the very thing that gingered me or encouraged me to be part of it was the Old Bless, which helps to help the poor and needy and to eradicate so many things in the society. So I thought about the roads. Like, let's say a place from here to Maryland will take you about 3 to 4 hours, but in Ghana, it can take you like 16 hours. There was a time even when there was a car traveling from Accra to Kumasi, and on the road, it had rained that day. It was still raining by then. A friend had called me to say something to me. Immediately, he stopped to talk to me. The bridge in front of him collapsed. This was a scary situation. So I think the roads in Ghana needs to be developed to prevent accidents and then to help the farmers to be able to transport their goods from the rural areas from the villages to the rural areas so that they can also be making money. Like my brothers and sisters said in their earlier messages, we realize that the farmers produce, but their products are not able to get to the right people for them to make money. So at the end of the day, the loans that they collect from the banks and other places becomes wasted. They are not able to repay their money due to the lack of transportation from one place to another. So if all blessed come like happen to be launched, my prayer is that we will think about the roads in Ghana to help the rural area and the villages to be able to send their stuff to the cities in order for them also to make a little money out of it. And then secondly, I realized that even when people have to go to work, and the roads are not good. It takes longer time for them to be able to move from their houses to the job places in order to be efficient. Sometimes the stress of being on the roadside, the road being bad, making the car slow and other things makes it hard for them to get to their destinations on time. So these are some of the things that I really want us to look into. And then looking at development, whenever the roads are bad, it affects development also. There are places that the cars cannot go and come back in the same day, because when one car leaves, because of the bad road, another car can come to the village or something. So it has to take like 24 hours before another car can move. And these are some of the things that affect the people of Ghana. So it's my prayer that the board will look into it and then be supportive when it comes to developing the streets of Ghana. And then when it comes to like, give me 1 minute. When it comes to like the infrastructure situation, improving physical accessibility and all other things are also a problem. This transportation system prevents the enhancement of mobility, and it doesn't improve any welfare. But once the roads are developed, there will be improvement in welfare, there will be improvement in mobility, and there will be improvement in development, and production will also increase. And then I want to talk about the prison system also. The prison system in Ghana is so bad, it's so terrible. Some people are in prison not because of what they did. Some have been accused of wrong stuff, but they are in the prison. But this situation whereby they put all of them together and then punish them in a way that tortures them and then give them mental problems because of the way they are packed in one room. Like in one single room, you can have like thousands of people sleeping. Like you can't even turn, you cannot move, you cannot do anything. They use the bathroom in the place where they sleep. They eat where they sleep. They do everything at where they sleep. And it becomes very difficult. They are not being taught on what they can do to prevent them from doing bad things, but rather they take them as punishment and punish them uncontrollably, giving them slaps and punishing them from not giving them food. Sometimes they go without taking even a bath. They don't train them on what to do in order for them to be able to develop themselves, to go out there and to become a better person. And this becomes like a torture on their brains, and it affects them when they come out. I know one person who was very innocent about the situation that he was taken into prison for. But at the end of the day, when he came out, he became mentally retarded. He wasn't able to function again. At the long run, this person died. And after he died, they realized that whatever accusation that they had on him wasn't what he did. So I think we have to come up with something good that will help the prisoners to get a little training so that when they come out, they'll be able to be a better person or people, and then be able to do something like train them to be able to write their GEDs, go to school, even in the prison, a little education here and there, like carpentry, sewing, or farming or something, that they'll be able to have something when they come out. So these are some of the things that I looked into. The prison system is very bad. They don't have bathrooms, they don't have good food, they don't have proper care, and the structure there is terrible. Everything smells in there, and like they get whenever there's a pandemic like this COVID, everybody in the prison will not be able to survive due to the way they are being handled and the way everything is crowded around them. So I think we have to do something to develop the prison system in order for them to come out as successful people, in order for them to know that they can do something better for themselves without going to jail again. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sister Laurentia. Friends, this is what we are going through in Ghana, and it's my heart desire. Actually, some of us are already doing this project already, but as soon as we learn to the public, we have teamed up for our own self. What Ash Mofari is going to bless us with, we're going to use that one also to bless our nation, Ghana. I can't talk so much. Anytime I talk about this, I'm so sad. Thank you. Pastor Chris, can you please?
Well, Grace, I definitely see the emotions right now in you. I also heard the emotions of, I'm going to say your family working for Ghana. And this is why we're doing this, to not only bring awareness to every part of the world, but the people that want to help their countries. You guys and gals pretty much covered every point there was. And if anyone, I commend all of you because it was excellent. And Grace, I hope you feel better. Julie is going to send you something somehow. Julie, what were you going to send to her email or?
It's a video. It's less than 1 minute, wherever is convenient for her, because
for her health, right?
yeah, just the home remedy, Grace. So
everyone that's taken this, Grace, from Julie has seemed to miraculously got better. Ask Daryl Cook. He sounded like a frog with one lung, and an hour later, a couple hours later, he drank the stuff. He sounded like Michael Jackson singing in a concert. So it does work.
Julie, you can send me through my email, please. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Now, as you can see, we have problems in Ghana. Almost kind of sounds like PNG. Bad roads, poor roads, vehicles. And was it, I can't remember if it was Edward or Frank. Frank said, we could do all this. We just need a little bit of help. We need some resources. We need some funding. But same with PNG said it. I love that. Frank says, we could do this. We got people capable of doing this over here. We just need a little funding to help out. I mean, Ghana has got one of those soils that you can grow houses on. That's how rich these soils are. And it's a shame that, and of course, since the beginning of the time, Ghana's probably been like this. And why doesn't anyone ever try to fix it? I'm listening to Frank's voice and what he was saying. And we just need a little bit of resources, guys. That's it. Well, Frank, I believe Bless is definitely going to come in there and get you those resources. I think that, once we launch and once we really see what happens, which I think is going to be great, we're going to have a lot of help for a lot of different people for those situations. And to be honest, the things that you guys are bringing up are really not that, it's not something that you got to really think about. It's just a little bit of engineering, get the money to the right place, get the materials, and you're all set. The people are there. Like you said, oh, look at this. Mr. Mike Ellis has his hand up. Mike, you want to unmute yourself and go ahead, buddy?
Yeah, I do, Chris. I was just going to listen to this webinar and listening to you all talk about Ghana. I'm passive is going to be able to do a lot for Ghana. A lot of the problems that I'm hearing, they're really not a big deal. They're very, very easy to solve. I think the biggest problem in Ghana, in many countries throughout the world, it really is education. If you have an educated population, and you all mentioned this, everything else works better. When you have people that come in who are educated and can tackle these problems, money is an afterthought. There's enough wealth in the world to take care of every problem that you have. But when you talk about a population that can't be educated, we come to impassive. Because of O Academy, you're going to be able to go in and give every child in Ghana a very high-class education so that they understand there's a way forward for whatever talents and abilities they have. When you talk about the water problem, when you talk about the farming problem, I listen to you talk about the farming problem, and Ghana has skilled farmers right now. I mean, you guys know how to farm and do it really, really well. It's just a matter of getting the equipment out there that can do some of the hard labor that you're doing manually right now. So there are a lot of issues in Ghana right now that Unpassive can absolutely help you with. But the biggest issue, I know governments, I know cultures, and there's always a clash there, and there's always some bit of corruption there. And when there's corruption in the government, it's really hard for the money to get to the people. And that's why you have to kind of segregate again away from the government and start tackling these problems on your own. Unpassive can do a lot of things to help Ghana and the people of Ghana. But in the end, the people of Ghana have to stand up and take responsibility to do some of these things, even though we can bring in the finances for all of that. And that's a process. It doesn't happen overnight. I know Ghana is not primarily, but over 50% a Christian country. There are Muslims in there and some other things in there. The Christian community, if they can come at these problems in love, bringing people in to solve these problems, Unpassive can do a great deal for that effort to take care of some of these problems. Some of them are political. They just are. When you talk about the prison, that's a political thing. And in order to change that, you have to change the politics and get people who want to serve the people of Ghana. Now, I'm sure there are politicians there that are like that. They want to serve. But those are longer term problems that as you come in and start educating the children with O Academy, along with everything else Unpassive can do, can turn Ghana around. I've never been to that part of the world. I've never been to Africa. I know that continent is probably one of the richest continents in the world, literally filled with natural resources. And yet, it just hasn't happened yet. I think Unpassive can get us moving in the right direction to not only help Ghana, but to help, like Chris said, a lot of other countries that have some of the similar problems, and get them on the right direction, bring in resources that they can use. But it's Ghanaians that have to use this money in the right way. Yeah, we can bring in consultants. Yeah, we can bring in people that can drill wells. Yeah, we can bring in people that can build roads. But it's so much better if Ghanaians can do that for themselves. And you can. I already know that. People around the world are so smart, and when you give them the resources to start taking care of some of these problems, they get taken care of very, very quickly. I listened to the gentleman that talked about wells that are 60 feet deep or so, 20 meters deep, 60 foot. That's a piece of cake, guys. It's an absolute piece of cake. I've been doing that my whole life. I know what it takes to drill a well. It's nothing. You're going to do that in about 3 hours. It's just having the equipment, and then having someone in Ghana who can operate that equipment and go from village to village to village, from town to town to town, wherever you need to go. Taking care of the water problem, it's a piece of cake. Absolutely is. And again, with Unpassive, those resources can be put into Ghana to take care of that by Ghanaians. I hope I said that right, guys. I don't know if I'm saying that right or not. But yeah, a lot of the problems that you have can be taken care of very, very quickly. It's just not a problem with the resources. Other problems, they're cultural, they're political. Those take a little time to iron out. And I'm not telling you all something you don't know. You already know this. But I think it can be done. You all have great hearts to try and help the people of Ghana. That's a great start. You come at it with love. You unite people. And as you do that throughout the country, really, really good things can happen. I just had to come on and talk a little bit about it, Chris. There's a lot that we can do in Unpassive, but you have to do a lot yourself in Ghana. The people of Ghana have to take responsibility, and especially for the kids. Take care of the kids, educate the kids. We have a way to do that, and it's very, very inexpensive. And if we can do that over a generation, now Ghana becomes a powerhouse in that part of the world because the population is educated. They know what to do. They know how to do it. And as that happens throughout the country, it's a beautiful thing to watch. So hopefully I made some sense, guys. I had to come on and say something. You all talk with such passion, and there is hope out there. Unpassive is one of those things that can help you, but it's more than that. It's more than that. It really is uniting people, bringing them together, and starting to move in the same direction. So it probably didn't help today, but Unpassive in the future will put together resources. That's not a problem for Unpassive, believe me. And then the real work starts. So hopefully that made sense. Go ahead, Chris.
Absolutely, Mike. Very good. Thank you for speaking, Mike. Mike, just to let you know, your microphone was going in, and we can hear you, but it was like you were running up to the camera and running back to the back of the room. That's what it sounded like to me. I don't know if anyone else heard that.
Yeah, now it's perfect.
Yeah, now, and I didn't want to. You were
No,
talking with
you
authority.
should have
I didn't want to interrupt you.
Well, you should have interrupted, but I don't even know if they understood what I said.
No, I think everyone give me a thumbs up if you understood what Mike was saying, because you were clear, but it sounded like you were running around like in circles, like driving by in the car. Hello, my name is Mike Ellison. I'm here. That's what it sounded like.
I had the wrong mic plugged in. Sorry, guys.
You're good. Well,
I
you
mean,
want to repeat it?
I can go through that again, but I'm not sure I can remember all of it.
Here, I'll tell you what you said. You
Well,
actually
the one thing I want to relay, there's a great deal of hope out there. Unpassive is part of that hope, and things will happen as we go into the product launch to the global market, not only for you founders, and you're going to have a lot of apples to help out with these problems too, but with all the founding members, there'll be plenty of resources, believe me. Go ahead, Chris. Sorry.
One thing they did touch on, every one of you touched on, especially the ladies, about what Mike talked about, is teaching the younger generation. You know, every one of you made that point about educating the younger generation, which really is the key to success to the rest of the world. I mean, us old guys, we talk about it. We want you young kids to, get out there and do a little bit of the work, because we've gone through it. Our jobs is to make it better for you, and your jobs is to make it better for the next generation. So the more we educate our youngsters, and I'm saying young kids from an early age is a great thing. So, but education is a key to many successes. If we can pass these great things down to these kids, no matter what country you live in, that, kids are like sponges. They hear everything and they learn everything. So it is a great thing. But Michael, once again, thank you very much for talking. I appreciate you. Well, we got some hands up here. All right, Miss Julie Wen, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hi, hello everyone. Sorry, Chris, I did not notice I put my hand up, but I'm gonna say it, that our CEO, Mr. Ash Mufarad, has created Unpassive, I believe, for the younger generations, for the future. So I believe education is something that is the core of the next generations. I'm so glad that all of our friends from Ghana, from all over the world, that talk about Ghana, and we appreciate that you are bringing the awareness to all of us about how we are dealing, how people are dealing with around the world. I believe if we are completely 100% plugging into Unpassive, as you are passionate about the charities work that you are planning to do, focusing on what Unpassive is creating will eventually making the biggest impact on what you are doing. I believe, all of us know that when Unpassive launches the world, the values that we are creating, money is no longer a subject. It's how many people that we are all influenced to take part of your projects, to take part of what you are doing. I believe highly that Unpassive, the Academy, all of the products will help with all the projects that we are putting it out. It is now time for us to focusing on bringing that awareness. And thank you, Chris, for bringing all the guests, that bringing up awareness, not only in the US, not only in Europe, but everywhere around the world. But speaking in terms of that will help us, all of us, aware of some of the projects and some of the issues that are happening around the world. And once OnPassive launch, I believe the people in OnPassive will make the biggest impact around the world. And so let's just do this together. I mean, you know, the people from Ghana will be able to help, and the people that coming from Ghana, or myself coming from Vietnam, will go back and help our own country, as well as what Mike just said. And I believe everything that if we are focusing on what OnPassive is offering in terms of values of products, you know, not only Ghana, it's going to be Africa, it's going to be the entire Papua New Guinea. We are all getting together to bring that awareness and to be able to influence people that are listening. So beautiful work. All my friends here from Ghana and around the world that getting together. Awesome, awesome work, Chris. Thank you for doing this every week. That's all I have, Chris.
Thank you very much, Julie Wen. Great words. Even though you didn't have your hand up, you handed up, you said some pretty good stuff there. Really, that's what it's about, guys. Taking it to your home country. A lot of us live in the States or Canada. A lot of us have family that live in Ghana, Papua New Guinea, Vietnam, parts of Africa, all over the world that have struggled since the beginning of time. Right now, it is up to us. When OnPassive flies, all right, so are we. We're going to fly to all these countries, literally. So the 6 or 7 people that talked tonight about Ghana, that is a huge start and part of what you're going to do over there. So don't forget that. Okay, Tim Dillon, kindly unmute yourself, please.
Hello, Chris.
Hi, buddy.
Hey, you got my text, I'm sure. I sent it to you in the chat. But anyway, I have a very dear friend who is actually from Ghana, and she's told me about things that happen there. And hearing these people confirms what she told me. And Mike, you are dead on. It's going to happen for those people. But I think Obless is going to be a great help to them getting machinery, getting those kind of things that are not financially accessible right now. As they get those, they have very skilled people who can operate and make those roads better. They can farm the land. And hey, come on. We're in the US. We grow the most food in the world. We know how to farm. We can put that on Academy and we can teach them how to farm and how to do it in a way that protects the soil they have. I think it's wonderful. Oh my goodness. It is such a beautiful thing that could happen across the globe with this information, because as we've said before, you can give someone a fish, but if you teach them, they can have a fish every day. I guess that's about it.
Very good.
It's a wonderful family to be in.
Tim, very good. I did not see your text in the chat or on my phone, so I'm not sure where you sent it, buddy.
Well, I put it right here on the chat.
All right, I'll keep digging. I'll find it. Thank you, Tim. Appreciate your words, brother.
Hey.
All righty.
I care.
I know you care. I know you care, Tim. All right, Miss, here's another beautiful sister that I know cares. Gladys, can you please unmute yourself?
Thank you so much, Brother Chris. Good evening, everyone. And thank you to the Ghanaian team, Sister Grace and your team. The issues that you share tonight are issues that we share across Africa. And how beautiful that you have a plan, you have a vision. And this is what On Passive is. It gives us the ability to dream big. When you dream to tackle issues from all aspects, that's a big dream. You could not really be confident of achieving it before, but because of Oh Bless, you are confident. And as Brother Chris has said, when On Passive flies, we want to fly together. When we begin, when we fly, let's also uplift one another. I am passionate about agriculture because agriculture is the backbone of the economy in Africa. When there is no food, it spirals to so many problems. It leads to diseases, people becoming sick, especially children being malnourished. It leads to lack of finance, causing poverty, especially for the farmers who depend on farming. And as one of the presenters said, it's a shame because Africa, we have the soil, we have the labor, we have the rain, good number of months in a year. But because of no processing and storage facilities, people enjoy food half of the year, and half of the year, some people die because of hunger. So I can't wait to see, I could speak over what you said just to top up, but there's no need. Just know that we are together, and as a team, we're gonna fly together to Ghana, to Nigeria, to Kenya, to Michigan, to everywhere in the world where we are needed. That's why On Passive was started. It's a vision for the world for us to do good. Thank you so much.
Nice, Gladys. Wonderful. Love the way you speak. Always excite me. Glad to have you in this blessed team here. All right, Willow, you're gonna have to follow that. I'm sorry, but go ahead.
You just did it to me, didn't you? You know, I wanted to refer to what Mike, our good friend, Mr. Ellis, was speaking of, the political aspect of contributions, for one thing. Here in West Virginia, we have poverty that's at a third world country status. Our community has been predominantly, where I live, are farmers, and they have little plots of land back out in the hollers. They don't know how to produce food for the masses or how to get it to like a farmer's market and earn a living from their land. They've been taught that the only thing that's worthwhile to them is being a coal miner, digging in the ground, working for somebody else. They literally threw up their hands and they're waiting for the government to swoop in and provide them with a coal mining job again, and it's not going to come back. So we're dealing with ignorance, really, and Mike was really profound when he said education is the key, and they have to help themselves. There are some families that are learning new skills, but they have to learn how to use their land in a good way to produce, like microgreens, for example. In some of the smaller areas of West Virginia, the cities are growing at such a rate, and the restaurants are paying high dollar for microgreens. People that have 5 acres can earn up to $100,000 to $200,000 a year just producing microgreens. And so I think we have to look at poverty by the community that you're in. And I'm looking into teaching farmers how to take care of their land. I really think that O Academy is going to open doors for the uneducated here because they don't have shoes to go to school. And they won't send their kids to school. They'll hide them in the back hollers to get them to work. So they'll work for just bare minimum wages at things to get enough food on the table to exist. So there's a whole new education system coming for those that do not understand that the government is not going to take care of you, that you have to take care of yourself. I know that sounds terrible. When I look at Ghana and I look at all the other countries and the water problems here are due to the government and blasting our wells. Our well water is just useless. You could dig to China and it's still polluted. And the same with Flint, Michigan, for example. But there are resources out there that are going to really, really cover these large problems. And that's another thing that Oblast can do, is get the financing for water reclamation, for wind, solar generation, for out on the farms where they can take care of themselves. We have a lot of rural people in West Virginia that are good to the bone, but they have no idea what to do. They've been coal miners all their life. They work until they don't have any lungs left. And they want to go back to that because it's all they know. So there's a great deal to do for all of us, not only in other countries, but right here in the United States. The poverty is beyond belief. And we're going to make a difference. We're going to make a difference because of our hearts. Every one of us on passes are motivated to help anybody. I hear Marty say, I'm going to go and help my neighbor. And, you know, just that thought alone, when we bring Oblast to those families, like I work with battered women in battered women's shelters, and they have children in those shelters that can't even leave to go to school. So we can provide things like that for people instantaneously. We can create projects to help those kind of things. But the big problems that people have, like in Ghana and in some of the other countries, are things we all collectively have to work to help with. I don't think it can come from just internally the Ghanaian people themselves. I think they'll do it if they're given the support and supplies. I'm not indicating that Ghanaians can't do it. I'm saying they haven't been given the resources. But I think we have to look within our communities. Each and every one of us need to scope out where we can make a difference in our communities. I'm a farmer. I want to help farmers. I want to help them reclaim their land. They say, well, what can Oblast do for the farmers? Listen, we hire people to do our farming for us. We don't all go out there and dig in the dirt. We hire people. We have to hire. We employ people. Everything that Odesk provides for people that have large businesses will work for the farmers. And so there, you know, it's not just Oblast. It is all of the products that Ash has developed. It's going to change the world. It's going to change my world, I know. And I hope Julie isn't right. He didn't just do it for the young people. Those of us that got one foot in the grave, I want to have some fun here too. So I hope he's thinking about us a little bit, the Over the Hill gang. But Mr. Ellis, you're exactly right. Education is the key. And I'm a teacher in my heart. And I think that we can do great things with those people that want to develop themselves. We can use Oblast to help people rise up. And that's what I hope we all look at our own community one by one and get together, say, my community needs this, and then go out after it. Marty said it. Listen, go to the people that already got their hands on the problems, and then you'll find your insights for what you can do to get started. And then we can help Ghana and all of the other places also. And like the Bahamas, Daryl put it so nicely in one of the webinars that I went, I love that man. He's really he's a cracker. I would hire him in a heartbeat to run my business. But needless to say, I'm talking too much, but I want to say to Frank, he touched my heart tonight. I had to turn off the screen because I get all weepy when I see people that are so sincere and so honest in their heart to help someone else. So my hat's off to all of you from Ghana. You did an excellent job, and you opened our eyes to the need, and that's important. So thank you. And thank you, Chris, for having me tonight, darling.
Well, I love you for that. I love I like how you said Mike Ellis and the Over the Hill
I wasn't including Mike in that. Mike's still young.
Listen,
I'm talking about us.
I hope I'm as good a shape as Mike when I get to
Me
be
too.
96 years old as he is, but I like that. Julie said no, not just for the kids, Willow, it's for everybody, especially us over the hill folks. So thank
Yeah.
you very much, Willow.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. You honor me.
But Willow, isn't it amazing? I mean, Mike Ellis, 96 years old, he looks
Yeah,
really
he's
good, doesn't
looking
he?
pretty damn good for his age, isn't he?
I gotta mess with it once in a while. Sorry, Mike. I'm just having some fun.
At 96, Chris, I don't forget anything.
I got a lot of people that's been telling me that. I'm starting to get a little nervous here. Okay, and oh my goodness, Marty DeGarmo had his hand up. Marty, please unmute yourself. Let's hear what you got, brother.
Yep, I wasn't going to talk either, just like Mike. Education, no doubt, is a big deal. It hurts my soul to see people on the same planet as me living in conditions that people in Ghana are living. The really sad part of Ghana is their natural resources are amazing. They have gold, they have diamonds, they have oil, they have lumber, timber, they have oil, they have everything you could imagine. The problem is 99% of the wealth is going to about 1/10 of 1%. And everybody else just crap on them. Now, I believe in education too, but I want to tell you something. And this was brought up many, many times. Willow brought it up again. If you get to the people that know, and I heard people here that know what needs to be done, and you give them the resources, let me tell you something that triggers from blessing somebody. It's contagious. And that little boy and that little girl in Ghana, when they look over and they see all these people working and things are getting better, and they see a blessing, they'll never, ever forget it. Ever. No matter what happens, they'll never, ever forget. And it's contagious. And there's a good chance as they get older, they'll do the same. With education, if you can get in and feed the people and give them water, we can work on everything else. Big problem in Ghana right now is migration. All the big industrial countries are pushing everybody to a poor country. They're getting overwhelmed by people migrating there that have nothing. If you go look on the news or anywhere you go, there's these little cities that they built with nothing, a bunch of people living around with nothing, but it can all be done, like Mike said, the wealth in the world, and Ashley Barr said the same. The wealth is there. We're not creating wealth. We're just going to rake some of them over to a different part of the world. That's all. And if you get it in the right hands, these people that talk tonight, they can aim it at where it needs to go. And let me tell you something, education also changes. In the long term, education will change who's running your country. I'm going to give you an example. 5-10 years ago, Gaddafi was the ruler of Libya. Because of education and internet and people getting educated on what ways, the way things should be, he's no longer on this planet. And it had to do with education. It has to do with what people can know and will know. But feed them, give them water, get the money in the right hands. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. There's people right now working everywhere in this world with nothing, spending 99% of their life helping others. You hand them the resources and they will blow things up. They will make a big impact in this world. And then get them in an education they can afford, because they'll be able to, and get them they start learning that it should not be this way. People expect it when you're born that way, you're raised that way, and you're in this hell year after year after year after year. They don't know any different. But education can take them out of that thought. But how that starts, give them water, give them food, bless them, and they will feel that blessing. And trust me, the blessing will go amongst everybody on the planet as strong as anything else in the world. Trust me, as strong as anything else in the world. And they'll never forget it. But it's a beautiful country. They have some of the most beautiful beaches in the world in Ghana. But what do we see on the news? Sadness, people suffering. And listen, the wealth is there. Passive is a rake. We're going to rake the wealth from other parts and rake it over into Ghana and give it to the people that understand what to do with it. If you give it to them, it will be done. And once you get moving, now you're changing the education. You're changing the way of thought. I don't deserve to be treated this way. It can be better. It's a long road, but it starts with blessing one person, and you do it over and over and over and over, and it'll change the whole world. And we're on a platform that's going to make the biggest impact on the planet ever, ever, ever. Is it going to change everything in one day? No, don't be foolish. But we could change one person every day, times one, a penny a day, 30 days is $5 million, over 5 million. So that's what you do. You just take it one step at a time and put it in the hands of the people that know what to do with it. No, you start fumbling around. Oh, I don't know what to do. You're right, I don't. But there's people there that do. Give them the resources, and this thing will blow up. That's my personal opinion. That's all I got.
Holy cow, who is this guy? Marty, great words, brother. I appreciate you for saying that. You always amaze me every time you say something. So thank you very much for speaking. Okan, please unmute yourself. You got to follow Marty. Boy, do I feel sorry for you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Chris. Thank you. God bless you. God bless everybody on the panel. I run a non-profit organization called Good Samaritan World Children Health Organization. And the happy thing that I know that will come out of this oblast, that I'm a great member, is because of the people that are members, the founders of this organization. As Mike Alice and other people said, those of us that live in this country have seen so much money poured into different countries in Africa. Yet, instead of getting better, the situation gets worse. We, as in Oblast, we're not going to fall for that. We're not going to give fish to anybody. We're going to teach them how to fish. One of the missions of Good Samaritan, at present, 80,000 children die every week in Africa. 80,000. Go to UNICEF, you will see even more than that in some cases. 80,000 children die every week of preventable causes. One of our missions is to end that. And we're not going to end that by handing out things to people. We're going to end that with education. Working in a community, teaching them how to farm, helping them farm and produce so that people can eat. Because one of the major things that kill these children is malnutrition. Poor water system. Simple things of infection like typhoid and malaria. Since we started Good Samaritan, one community sent a letter to me to send them money for food. I told them, no, we don't send money for food. We will send people, we will pay people to clear the farm for you. We will get people to till the soil for you. And we will get people to apply fertilizer in the soil, and we will help you plant and produce. We don't send money to feed anybody, unless it is an emergency, of course. So what Mike has said is so perfect. That's why I'm very happy about Oblast, because there are so many people of us, so many of us that have had experience that if you just dump money on people, they're not going to do anything, and they're not going to, that money is not going to last them one day. And that's why the O Academy is going to help, because a lot of these people are going to learn how to farm. They're going to learn how to make simple things themselves and help themselves. That's where we come in as an organization operating in Africa. That's where we come in to help them start up their own business, use their knowledge to produce. This is where we're going with Obless. Obless is not a handover thing or giving things to people. There was a time a shipload of rice was sent to some country in Africa. The president of that country took the whole shipload and sell it. We're not going to fall into that trap as Obless. No. So that is what I have to say. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity.
You're welcome, Okan. I agree with you 100%. You know, the sad thing is we see all these, when I used to watch TV, the ads would come on and they would show little kids in Africa that are bloated or with a real sad face, flies flying at them. They're starving, they're hungry. And I've watched these for many, many years in my life. And I'm thinking, all those years, all those help, $19 a month will feed, 20 kids.
Exactly.
And then I hear what you're saying that, yep, food found in a warehouse, not even close to where it was supposed to go, rotting away. And the people that started the foundation turned it into a business, and they turned it into, hey, they got what they want. Let's take the money and go. You're right. That's not going to be a passive. We're going to have a lot better organization. All right. We're not just going to give people money and say, hey, there you go. Mike touched on a lot of good points. Again, education. We don't just say, hey, we'll say Sydney in Australia, I'm sending you $2 million to rebuild that city. No, that's not how it's going to work. I'm not going to say, oh God, I'm sending you $2 million to help fix these people that are so corrupt over there. All right. I probably could send Okan $2 million because just by how I trust his voice, I was talking, but you know what we're talking about. Enough's enough. We have a company right now. We have regular people. We're not millionaires and billionaires yet. Okay. And I say that with the quote signs coming up there. We are responsible for our own destinies. But why can't we be responsible to change people's destinies that are a lot younger us and cultures and everything like that? So Okan, you brought up some great points. You know what I want to see? I want to get rid of all these little commercials of these little children. They look hungry and their flies are on their face. How about we put the kids that they were supposed to save with the $19 a month and say, look at these kids in school. They got books. They got food. They don't show you that because you know why? They don't get that out of the $19. A lot of it is it's just BS stuff they show to get some kind of money going somewhere. But technically, we're going to do a lot better. And I promise that I die,
That is why, Chris, I changed the name orphans. We don't call children orphans because nobody is really an orphan. If you step into something and try and fall, you don't call your father or your mother. The first person you call is, oh my God, what happened? That means you have a father and mother.
Right.
So we changed the term orphan because orphans in some African countries is to designate those who eat the debris, the leftovers that are not good. Those are the orphans. The money that you send to help orphanages and all kinds of things that they set up there doesn't get to those children. Those children are not sent to school. So we change them. We call those children children of hope. There are no more orphans. We don't call anybody orphan so that you can give them some dirty food. I've been a physician for 30 years, and all those 30 years I've worked as a volunteer and a humanitarian worker. I studied everything and I put everything together and I started Good Samaritan World Children Health Organization to change. The organization is a change. We call it one love because nothing else works but love. There is enough food on this earth for everybody, but some people take all the food and they don't give anybody because they don't have the love to share with anybody else.
Absolutely, Okan. So, Okan, I appreciate your words. Okay, guys, we got about 12 hands up and we got about a half hour to go. So I'll try not to talk as much and let's get y'all in. I want to make sure everyone gets heard today. Dr. Benny, please unmute yourself, my queen.
Thank you so much, Brother Chris, for giving me this opportunity. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon to my brothers and sisters here. I want to take this special moment to thank all our Ghanaians, excellent thoughts, excellent presenters. Because of what you guys have noticed, what has happened or what is happening in Ghana, to tell you the truth, it is happening all over the globe, especially in Africa. And what I have noticed is that the president controls everything in all over the globe. I'm talking about Africa. So my question is this: with all the projects that I have noticed that Ghanaians have, I'm wondering why nothing is changing with all the projects. Now, what I noticed about, or what I heard about education, as everyone knows that it is very important, especially for our children. Education is the key to success. Without education, to me, I am nothing. To be good is not good enough. You have to exceed expectation. So these children, they will need this education. They will need the school, right? They will need food, water, and everything. So do you think that, Obless, we do understand that because of our CEO, we have Obless, we have Academy. Now, do you think that with the resources that we have, do you think the government will allow you to build, let me say, the prison, build schools to our children? It's my own question, please.
Anybody want to answer that question? Mike Ellis, you look like you're thinking real hard on that one right there. What do you think?
You know, when you start talking about politics and culture, especially in this world, there's so much corruption around. And to take care of that corruption, it really takes the whole country to come together, the people, not the politicians, to come in and force change in a peaceful way, not violence, but in a peaceful way. And it's a process. You know, when we talk about education, you don't need a school to educate children. Can we get a ton of computers in Ghana? Absolutely. Can we get them in front of kids? Absolutely. And if you can do that, now we have the Unpassive Academy platform that can educate. How do you educate? I mean, how do the Ghanaian people want to be educated? I don't know. I know supposedly you live in a democratic republic and that the politicians serve the people. But obviously they're not serving very well because there's so much wealth in that country. I mean, it's unbelievable the amount of wealth, not only natural resources, but the wealth in the people of Ghana. We don't need to teach you how to farm. We just need to give you the equipment and teach you how to run the equipment. You already know how to farm. You probably do it as well as anybody around the world. So it's a matter of getting to the people, pushing the government and the corruption out of the way. And then as you educate the population, giving them a way forward politically to change the politics of that country. It's a really, really hard thing to do. I mean, Ash talks about this all the time, that there is a ton of corruption around the world in every country. It doesn't matter where you're at. I believe today that is changing. People are seeing what's happening and they don't like it. and things are changing to actually put the power back in the people's hands and not in government's hands. So it's a process. I think we can help out with feeding, like Marty said, with feeding, giving them water, making sure that you have enough to eat and you have enough to drink. And then from there, education, it will push this, it'll push the society forward, but it's a process. It's not something that can happen overnight. Unfortunately, I wish it could. I wish you could snap your fingers and if there was no corruption, there's enough money in Ghana right now to do everything that you've talked about, everything. And then you add on passive to that, there's more than enough. So it's a difficult topic. It's a difficult problem, but I believe with all the brain power that we have here, that you have in Ghana, there is a way forward to take care of a lot of these problems. Whether it takes a couple of years or it takes a generation, I don't know. I hope it takes a couple of years rather than a generation. And I know that can happen, but it really does take changing hearts. Those individuals that are supposed to serve should serve the people and not their own devices. So it's a tough question, Doctor. It really is.
Thank you so much. One more thing. I know that we are Africans, right? To tell the truth, I would like to work with all the Africans. I want to, because what I have noticed a lot of things, wrong stuff. I want to control the money to make sure that the money goes to the right direction. If you guys would give me that chance. Thank you.
Dr. Benny, that's a whole nother
I don't play.
discussion. I will keep that in mind. That's going to be up to how Ashbafar, how he's designed Noblesse. And boy, let me tell you something. Anyone ask me that same question again, I commend you for asking that, Dr. Benny, but let's wait to see what Ash, his system that he's going to have for Noblesse, and we'll go from there. But it's not going to be one individual. Let's put it that way. But I appreciate your words and your question. And Mike, thanks for helping with that answer.
Chris, can I say something?
Go ahead.
Thank you. As Mike earlier said, in Ghana, we operate in democracy, and the president or the leaders are supposed to serve the people, but unfortunately, it's the other way around. Now, there are a lot of things that we don't need the permission of the government to do, but there are certain things that you need because they are sort of a bureaucracy. But I believe what OnPassive is going to give us is they're going to give us the opportunity, the power to do whatever we want to do. We will not need the permission of the government or the leaders. Instead, they will be coming to us. That's what I believe at the end of the day. That's what's going to happen. So if we have the resources, we can do whatever we want. If we have a problem with our road in our community, we can build it because we have the resources. And we will not need the permission of the government to do that. And that's my thought. Thank you.
Very good, Frank. Frank, I see a gem, Frank. Marty, you copy that one?
I got it. Frank don't talk much, but when he does, it's pretty powerful. Yeah, he's quiet, but he's got a lot in there.
Yeah, you quiet ones are really starting to come out. We're loving that. So, all right, let's see. Dr. Benny, thank you for the question. Mike and Frank, appreciate your answers. Richard Lamoot, come on, unmute yourself, Richard.
I'm sorry, Chris. My hand accidentally lowered my hand.
There you, Albert. Richard, go grow a beard. I'll be back to you. Albert, I apologize. I didn't see you. I was wondering you disappeared. Go ahead, Albert.
A pleasant good evening, good morning, good night to one and all. Thank you for this opportunity, Chris. Thank you, Marty. I just want to bring a slightly different point of view on the subject tonight, and I want to talk about the Caribbean region. One of the greatest problems we face in the Caribbean region is hurricane. That's one of our greatest challenges, and we cannot get away from it. And over the years that I've been around, I've never heard any of the government, and we have changed government, and I've never heard any of them even suggest a hurricane shelter. What we have here in the Caribbean, in Antigua, during the hurricane season, the government would announce to persons living in low-lying areas, those are living in flood-prone areas, if your house is not stable, if you think it's not safe, make your way to the shelters provided. But what are the shelters? They have a church or a school as an option for people to take temporary shelter in during the hurricane season. Not only that, they then put the burden on the pastors for these churches to then ensure that your facility is worthy to accommodate persons that want to take refuge in the shelters. So myself and the team that we have here in the Caribbean region, one of our first projects that we want to do is to build hurricane shelters. I think it's crazy to think that in the year 2022, we still have big people, parents with kids, going and sleeping into a church or a school during a hurricane season. I mean, should something go wrong, they are at the mercies of the elements waiting for rescue from a church or a school. One of the other things that we want to do is that while persons are in the shelter during the hurricane season, that the food it's responsibility of the founders that are here. We're not going to put that burden on the government. We want to be the one responsible. While they are there, we'll take care of the ration, the food. That's not a problem. In addition to the shelters, while no one is in the shelter during the hurricane season, a lot of times we have spontaneous fires, house fires. People's houses get burned down, they have nowhere to go. The shelters, once again, can come in as a temporary refuge for these persons who are being displaced by a fire until we can get them, back on their feet and organized to go back out into the community. Differently from that, then one of the other things that we want to look at is the hospitals. Now, the islands don't have, a large amount of hospitals like, in the US or the UK. And a lot of times it's limited, one, for space, limited with resources that they may have, stationaries. So these are some of the things that we intend to look at, to give to the hospital a constant supply of stationaries, whatever it is, because they're always running out of this. They don't have that, and it's not right. It's not fair to have patients in the hospital and they cannot get a particular item because the hospital doesn't have it, and for whatever reason, maybe coming from the government. So apart from the hospital, then we give the hospital excess so that they then feed the clinics, because the hospital is responsible, I guess, for the distribution of the resources that they have to the clinics in the nearby villages that we have. So give the hospital enough with the effort that they will share with the clinics. If that doesn't work that way, then we then go to each clinic and find out what they need and then supply whatever that they need for the clinics to function properly. So there are other major problems that we have, but this is just one that I want to zero in on. And I would just like to ask all the other folks in the Caribbean region who feel the same way that we do here in Antigua and want to join forces with us, feel free to reach out to me or anyone that you may know. So
Hey, Albert. Hey, Albert. Can you hear me?
Yes, Chris.
Oh, Albert, we were supposed to talk about this next Tuesday, but you brought it up now, and Janet Butler's texting me right now. They actually have something, they have this already happened in place, and she would like to know if you would join her with it. And next Tuesday, actually, it's not going to be next Tuesday, maybe. I'm actually having surgery next Tuesday. I have a hernia I'm getting fixed. So that might get postponed, depending on how I feel that day. But she, I asked her if she wants to talk about it, join you in there and what they're doing. You guys can get connected and we can talk about this next Tuesday or the following Tuesday after that. Or you guys can do it and I can watch from my hospital bed and watch what's happening. So you get with Janet Butler. She'll get a hold of you. Okay, Albert?
All right, man. Appreciate it. Thanks.
All right. You're welcome. Thank you. Okay. Richard, my face is smooth as a baby's rear end. Go ahead, buddy. I'm sorry.
I love all you beautiful men, women, and children of the world from the bottom of my heart. You know, Mike, you're right. And again, as you notice, I got off a few times because of tears again. Chris, you keep on bringing people that are making me cry. You know, I've seen poverty. I mean, I've seen poverty here in Canada. I've seen it in the US. But Ghana, Africa, PNG. Hi, Nancy. Nice to see you. PNG's in the house. You know, it's sad. It's really sad. Number one, what Oblast has to do is make sure that the people that we want to help are educated on the equipment or whatever is needed to do the job. So Academy comes into there. We supply them the equipment, the seeds, whatever, and then they themselves, and I bet you that all the teenagers in those countries would be very happy to learn how to drill wells and, you know, same with the food. They were saying the food gets spoiled because of lack of transportation. Well, geez, there we go. We supply the transportation. They supply their manpower. They make sure that it gets to the people. So Oblast really is going to be there to give to the people the power of taking care of each other. Forget the governments. They're corrupt. They're gone. We're the correction to that corruption. So we got to make sure that it gets into the hands of the proper people. Like one was saying, I've seen a whole ship being sent to a country, and as you said, the government turned around and sold it instead of giving it to their people. And this is food and everything that we sent with our money over there. We've had Haiti, for example, $36 billion was given to Haiti. Where did it go? I'm not going to say the word, but it went in politics pockets, politicians' pockets. And Haiti is the same way as before that $36 billion was given to them by the world. So we, as On Passive, have to make sure that if we do have 30 million or 40 million, that it gets in the proper hands, so that the people that need it are the ones that receive it, and they're the ones that can help one another to bring society to what it's supposed to be. We are the correction to that corruption. Thank you very much. I love all of you. Big kiss and big hug to all of you. Thank you for listening to me.
Richard, thank you very much. Guys, don't worry. Asking Farah, as you know, is a very intelligent man. He just doesn't put something together. He thinks it through. And he's got some pretty smart people that anything that he's got going or is going to get going, he'll have all the right connections. So don't worry about money going to the wrong place. I guarantee you he'll have it all figured out. So, okay, guys, it's let me see what time. I can't even see. It's about 12 minutes to. We got a lot of hands. So, Leon Holiday, go, go, go. Leon, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, go ahead, buddy. Leon, you muted yourself again.
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir, I can. Go ahead, Leon.
Okay. Yeah, Richard, get that money to Dr. Benny, like I believe she'll do exactly what she's going to do with the money. But anyway, I got into Passive because of water and waste. I'm a water and wastewater expert. That's my profession. So I ended up doing other things because the Filipino community that I'm involved in, we are right now sending packages and buying food for the volcano people in that just happened in the Philippines. And one of my people in El Paso, they're over there with our Southern California Division of Sustainable Living. They're over there going to be buying tons of rice and food. And just like the gentleman said, we make sure it's going into the right hands. And I too know of situations where people locally was collecting millions and millions of dollars to send it to Ethiopia through Ethiopia famine. That money never made it because the people on this end kept the most of it and they was bringing in checks after checks. And all they did was they took a plane of food and a plane of clothing and they paradropped it over into Ethiopia by parachute. And it all ended up in the hands of the rebels and not the people that was starving. And then the people here on this end ended up with the money in their pocket, and the FBI stepped in and they did nothing wrong because they put it right there in their paper. You got to read the paper. They say so much percentage is going there. The rest of it went to their pocket. So you like the corruption to the people, you got to make sure you know where your money is going. And like I said, I can't wait to get involved into these water projects, no matter which country, whether it's Guyana or wherever, because my background, I can help people, village by village, make filters and learn how to take the water and filter and clean it at the local resources. And like you said, all it takes is a computer, maybe a little training, and people can start making these filters and learn how to, once they get it to a certain level, how to boil the water and can drink clean water every day without getting sick and saving a lot of lives. So I'm not going to say too much because I know we ain't got much time. But like I say, we're with the right people. We got a lot of people. We got thousands of people wants to do the right thing. And so that's all it takes for us to get started. Thank you, Marty. And Chris.
Thank you, Leon. Don't you ever call me Marty.
Yeah.
All right, no, I'm just joking. You can call me Marty anytime you
I
want.
know.
A lot of respect for that, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, guys, it's 9 minutes. So I hate to say this. Let's keep it down to 1 minute. I want to get you all in. Harold, go ahead. Thank you, Leon.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Chris, I don't have much to say because the previous speakers have covered much of what I had in mind. But I wanted to commend Grace and her team for giving a fantastic presentation on the situation in Guyana. These problems, unfortunately, are something that hasn't just occurred. They've been going on for years, decades, and it's going to take a while for them to be resolved. But I do believe, like you said, Mr. Mufarek and his heart has a way to alleviate the problems through humanity. They're not going to be advertising, like you said, send $19 to here and we will do this and that and that. They have, I believe, with the guidance of these people, the beginning of the Guyana wanting to do the right thing for their country with the resources that we'll have in Unpassive, I believe a lot can be accomplished. Thank you for letting me share.
Harold, thank you very much. Wonderful, short, to the point, right on the head, brother. I appreciate you. Bruce Christian, you got 1 minute. Go ahead, brother.
I'll do my best. First of all, I want to say healing hugs and loves and prayers to Grace, and I hope she feels better. And thank you for a wonderful group of compassionate people you brought to us tonight. You know, one thing is very important to remember. Unpassive is a done deal. Anything that you're going to need will happen because Unpassive will have it for us. Things like, in Nepal, 12 hours a day, they do not have electricity. They don't have it because the government holds it, because they keep the oil and that stuff. But the one solution for that is just get solar generators and get your own electricity. Help with the whole academy and have everybody get computers. Have everybody learn from all the people in Africa who are already founders. The Czech guys are all from Africa, and they can all teach you in their compassionate way. So anyway, because I only have 1 minute, I'm going to try to keep this down, Chris. But what's very important when it comes to the water thing, any agriculture needs fresh water, good water. So it's very important to make sure that you have proper irrigation and proper filtering of that water so that you don't get the cholera that the floods cause all the time, because that's a dangerous thing in all of Africa. And it's very, very important to remember that what we have here is what is in the back of all of our things, lifting up humanity. And how we lift up humanity by nourishing people. We nourish their heads and minds, nourish their bodies, and nourish their spirit by being impassive and by being this wonderful community of men and women who loves the world. So that's about it for today. Short but sweet.
Thank you, Bruce. I appreciate that. Miss Nadu, go ahead. You have 1 minute. Go ahead, unmute yourself, please.
Thank you, Chris. Hey. It's not too late. I just want to say thank you to the presenter. They bring something up that we want all Africans to do. I was in a project in Ghana back in the days, in the 90s. This is now what the Ghanaian want. But because we have the project and the financing had to go to do something like building public toilets at the beach. So when we did that, our project was a success. But for the Ghanaian, it's not. Guess what? When we went to check the construction, the fishermen put all the product there, whatever they use, into the building. Like the construction was there, and they use it, put the lock on it, so nobody will steal whatever they use to fish. So for Ghanaians, it was a failure, but for us, going there to do something, it was a success because we bring money to do something that is there. Physically, you can see it. So thank for our fellow Ghanaians to bring a project that will be benefiting them, not the person who is putting the money in. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
I do thank you very much, especially you got it right in a minute. Tony Monk, please unmute yourself. You got 1 minute. Wonderful words, Nadu.
Okay, Chris, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity. I know there's 5 hands up, so I'm going to make it as quickly as possible because I have consideration. I believe governments in a lot of these countries deliberately keep their people uneducated. Why do they do that? So the people don't have the intelligence to fight back. Think about the in the U.S. and in America when the white people had slaves in America. If you were caught reading a book when you were a slave, you were punished. Okay, you were severely punished. So what happened? African Americans started to become educated. Once they became educated, they became judges, lawyers, people of authority. And that stopped all that stuff. So I believe that education is extremely important. Mike Ellis brought it up earlier, so did Marty, and it hit a nerve with me. Education is knowledge, and knowledge is key. And that's what we need to teach the next generation in a lot of these countries. We need to bring a system that's going to educate them to alleviate a lot of this poverty that's going on. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tony. Nice words. I agree with you completely about keeping people down. We're going to change that. Jake Fish, you got 1 minute. Please unmute yourself.
Hello, everyone. Thanks. Feline and I were speaking tonight. She's the builder, and she can push out 5,000 small buildings and grow houses a week with her providers. The thing that we're speaking of is building micro communities and spreading them out, and so they're completely self-sufficient. You could have farms in a box, if you would, for growing vegetables and produce year-round. And you could have schools, hospitals or whatever, and just have a bunch of these micro communities so we can spread people out so they don't get oversaturated. And that way in the school classrooms, you can have smaller classes and people would be educated, a lot better in smaller classrooms. Also, having micro communities, you can produce jobs to where people are growing their own produce. And this way they have fresh produce and food year round. And in the areas where they have the rich soil, we'll take advantage of that and grow food. But I think we have to spread people out a little bit, make micro communities that are self-sustaining. And that way people are not on top of each other. And that'll take competition down. And we also have to have boots on the ground from on passive to make sure that all these things, that there is no corruption, that every single event that we plan gets carried out. And that's all I have.
Absolutely, Jake. Thank you very much. Tom Taylor, please unmute yourself. You have 1 minute. Thank you, Jake.
Okay, guys, I want to tackle a subject
Chris.
of why the way I see it, why there are so many problems in this world and not being tackled the way they should be. And it's one simple word called ignorance. Now, a lot of people see ignorance as an insult or as a negative word in general. I don't. I see ignorance as something perfectly natural because we are always ignorant before we are actually educated about something. And before knowledge, there always will be ignorance with a lot of people. The solution to ignorance is very simple. It is knowledge passed on and usually best achieved via education. The reason I feel this simple truth is worth harping on about is that a lot of problems in life, no matter where or what country, are misunderstood as problems when in fact they are just pure examples of ignorance. Now, we got a lot of fantastic leaders in our group here, and I feel sincerely that if we can overcome this ignorance by setting an example, doing good deeds, whichever course it may be you would like to pursue, that will create a ripple effect. Ripple effect starts, as you know, with one drop in the water, the ripples go out, and eventually the ripples will be getting so big that they may, in some cases, create, in a positive way, create a tsunami. Now, that will create excitement. Any form of good excitement is contagious. And once people see what's going on around them, once people see the results happening, once people see what you guys have started, there will be no stopping us ever. Thank you very much. That's all I got to say today. Keep up the great work.
Tom Taylor, I really appreciate how you said that. I didn't know where you were going at first, but that was it's one of the smartest ways I've ever heard ignorance talked about. And I appreciate those words. I think everyone else did too. Tom, thank you for bringing that up. I appreciate you. Okay, might be another beautiful sister, Marie Pendy. Please unmute yourself.
Thank you, everyone, for bringing the problem of Ghana, everybody who presented today. I have to say that Ghana is even much better developed than some other African countries, like the country that I'm from. Ours is ravaged with poverty, corruption to the lowest level. So it is a real chronic issue. Marty brought up education. Mike did the same. Dr. Benny brought up the loopholes that we have to get over in order to do something for the people. And somebody else said we can do something without having to go through the government, which is all true. Because of the level of corruption all the way to the top, even the things that we do that we don't have to go through the government, it will be looked at as jealousness by the government, and they'll find a way to destroy or sell or stop the progress. So there have to be some kind of oversight monitoring that if you give something for the people, it should be maintained and monitored by outsiders so that the people who are intended to have the benefit should reap the benefit. That's how chronic, especially my country, Cameroon, is. So thank you. It's a problem that is all over most African countries, and my country, I think, is the worst. So thank you. We are going to be leaders to lead this charge and change the world through education for our younger generation. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, my sister Marie. Beautiful words. Engineer Mike, I know you have an answer to Dr. Benny's question. Go ahead, brother. You got 1 minute. Mike, you got 27 seconds.
Good evening, everybody, all our leaders. Yeah, thank you for the Ghanaian team for bringing this up. It is a cankerworm in Africa, corruption. Everybody knows that. It's not something to be hiding or to say no to it. So, but we have to say no to it, standing up and saying that OnPassive is the answer to that problem, which is corruption. So we are the correction to corruption. So I just want to say something here because I happen to work in the road construction as a road construction engineer in so many countries in Africa some years back. So these countries, how it was coming is people make donations internationally and send for us to do the road constructions. So when the money comes, the government, I don't know how they partition it, but at the end of the day, we don't get the payments for the workers. So what I came up with an idea with a team of people after brainstorming, some of the part of the solution to it was, I told the people who were the top leadership people, I say, oh, I'm just a small guy. You people are the big people. What you need to do is to make these donors send this money to their various embassies. For instance, if people are in the United States, they contribute money for road construction in some particular place X in Africa, let that money pass through the American embassy in place X country. So when it goes to the embassy, it has that leverage, it has that pride, it has that power. The money has some strength that nobody can go into that money to deepen into it. And that is how during the days, in the place of 3, 4, 5 years projects that were all aligned, we had to finish those projects because the money was coming to the embassies and the people were being paid and everything was being sorted out. So I just, like I say, let's put it, if we have projects, put these projects to our various embassies. They can intervene for us and they can be the project managers for the project and everything will be smooth. That's one part of the policy, the solution to the problem that we have concerning corruption in Africa. I was working in the road construction some years ago, and that was the solution we used. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you for waiting also. Very good words, Mike. I love that. Merthlin, you got 1 minute. Please unmute yourself.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you to the wonderful presenters tonight. Chris, I don't have much to say, but I was enlightened. I would like to be on that team with Janet Butler and the guy Albert Reed from Antigua, because we have the same problem. Albert Reed is my neighboring island, Antigua and Nevis. So I would like to work on them with that project.
Okay, do you have Janet Butler's information or Facebook?
No.
All right, she's probably listening. I think she's listening. Marcine, can you mute yourself?
Oh, I'm on Zoom is dealing with me.
Oh, yeah. You always tell me that.
Zoom is dealing with me. So I'm sorry if my hand is on. I hear the balance of my time for next Tuesday.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Marcine. Merthlin, I will get you Janet's information if she's not on here already, because she might have went to bed, but I'll get you that information.
Okay, Chris, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, there was another hand. Who was the last hand? Was it Marcine?
Yes, it was Marcien. It was
Marcien.
Marcien.
Go ahead. I'm going to get you because I love you.
I'm sorry, Chris. Is Zoom thing? Zoom is dealing with me. I don't know where I am. It's going off and in. My hand is coming up and down. I hear the balance of my time to somebody else, please.
Okay, well, there's nobody else, so you go right ahead.
Oh my God. Anyway, it's a great webinar, and I just want to say that when OnPassive come up with all this opportunity, the first thing was to help everything that we have talked about tonight. It was to help the poverty everywhere around the world, and we don't have to do what has been doing before. We are looking for a new area. How are we doing things is not going to be the way that they have been doing it before. We have to bring some ideas, some new idea how to come up of doing things. So, and I think that we as OnPassive, we as founder, we are going to bring that idea, and those ideas are going to help us to do the great things. So let us not kill ourselves by corruption and any other thing, because we are not the corrupt people. We are going to be the corrected of the corruption. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Marcine. Thank you. And there's no way, listen, if I'm going to give my money to anybody, Nancy from Papua New Guinea, you're getting it. Nancy, go ahead and unmute yourself, please.
Oh my goodness. Sorry, Chris. Love you all. I just want to say to us that corruption is everywhere. But listen, guys, if we start a school, if we start an hospital, listen, my family is calling me to go now. If we start a school, if we start an hospital, if we do a project, let me tell us, buy every reseller position for everybody involved in your community. You know, put all these children to a reseller position, put all the women, everybody. We don't have to worry about the government. Just forget about the government, because there's a corruption that has been there for ages. This demon doesn't die until Jesus comes back. So let's do it differently, like what Marcin has said. Let's do it differently. Buy a reseller position, put everybody in so they can earn something and they can have a life to continue to live. That's how we're gonna impact the world. And remember, Mr. Ash just said the other day that 8 billion people on the planet will be impacted by the projects of OnPassive, by the physical products of OnPassive. So why are we worried about? What are we worrying about? Our problems have been solved. Come on, guys, think different, think different. So we don't have to worry about corruption. We are the correction. So if we are the correction, come on. 8 billion people will be impacted. Mr. Ash said from the oldest, the youngest to the oldest, 8 billion on the planet will be impacted. That means that all our problems will be solved. And if we can just get everybody on reseller position with OnPassive, that's it. That's the beginning of correcting that corruption. And we're gonna go. Love you all. I have to get out of here. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Martin. Thank you, Marcin. Thank you, everybody. Mwah! Love you all from PNG. You all rock. Thank you very much. Love, love. Goodbye.
Thank you. Hey, guys, that's what you call being taken to church right there. Thank you, Nancy. Good luck. All right, Ty, you're the last one. You just had to throw your hand up, didn't you? Look, yeah, Marty's giving me the fist now. Go ahead.
Nancy, and Nancy's the one that started. She got me started. I'm sorry, I can't help it. I love that. I love you, Nancy. You crack me. You're amazing. That's right. That's right. God bless you, man. Thank you.
Thank you, Ty. All right, nice to hear. All right, we did it. We did it. We did it. We got everyone's hand in. Sorry I had to rush you, but we actually made pretty good time. I want to personally thank Daryl Cook, who just finished the notes. Daryl Cook makes all the notes for the show. I want to thank Lynn Nakamoto for running the show, running the panel, bringing people in, letting me know what's going on. Julie Wen for running the panel, let me know what's going on, and the advertisement, Marty for opening it. I appreciate all the leadership that came on here tonight. Mike Ellis was a surprise for me. Thank you, Mike. And I want to personally thank I'm saying it right, Ghana. We're talking about Ghana, right? Where's Grace? Grace and Frank. Is it Frank?
Yes,
Frank,
Chris, I'm here.
Do me a favor, Doug. I know Grace doesn't feel good. First of all,
I'm here.
I want to thank you guys all for coming on here. But I also would like you to call, because I'm terrible with names and I'm looking for everyone. I know you don't feel that good, Grace. So if you want to let Frank call it out, can you call all the names out so we can show our appreciation to all of you? Whoever wants it, Frank or Grace, your call.
Frank, please.
Oh, thank you, Grace, and thank you, Mama Grace. Yes, I have Brother Edward Ampedu, our sister Anita Boaji, Sister Laurentia, Wahamina, and Sister Echa Bafo, and of course myself, Frank, and Mama Grace, wonderful woman. We just want to say thank you so much for welcoming us, for giving us the opportunity to share our issues back home with you. And we appreciate all the support, the opportunity given us. And we are glad to be part of this wonderful family. We pledge to give back to our country and make Ashford proud, because that is what his vision is, to enable us to also enable other people. Thank you.
Wow, thank you, Frank. Grace, would you like to say anything? I know you don't feel good. You like to say a few words? You got it all over me. Go ahead, Grace.
Thank you, everyone, for coming. Thank you for this opportunity you have given us. I'm sorry this voice is not good, but I really appreciate whatever you have done for us and the opportunity that you have given us. We love you all and stay blessed. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. I want to personally thank all of you too. You know what I'm going to say? Hey, Ghana, however you say it, watch out. Unpassive's coming, and there's some angels. Grace is leading the way with the wings. We're going to get you some help when we launch to the world. Be patient, stay tuned, because we are coming. Guys, unmute yourself, say goodbyes, and then go to bed.
Yeah, good night. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Virginia.
Bye. Chris. You're spotlighted.
Love you. Hey,
Good night. Good night, everyone. Good night.
Good night,
Everyone.
We are in it to win it. Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Guys.
Love you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you so much.
Good night.
Night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, Norel.
Thank you.
Bye.
We love you.
Thank you.
Bye, Chris. Good night, Norel. Good night, Liam.
Bye, Auntie Lee.
Bye, Sugar. Hi, Auntie Lee. Thank you. Yes.
Hi, Winter.
Bye.
Cynthia's happy.
Artie, your host.
Bye.
Your host.
Good night, Lori.